Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a Wednesday here in Melbourne. Let's go down to our friends down in Tassie and we'll speak with the Mighty Hawks who won back-to-back premierships in the TNL competition. And of course, we got two very special guests joining us right now to tell us a bit about the amazing season for the Mighty Hawks in 2023. Thanks, both, for joining us.
Thanks, we're really excited. And, we always love to talk about Hawks and success. So, we'll take any opportunity to do that.
I'll get both of you to introduce yourselves and tell us what position both of you play on the court on Grand Final day.
So my name's Tessa Coote and I played goal defence.
And I'm her sister Lydia and I played centre.
How tough was it this year to defend a premiership that you already have?
So obviously we had that target on our back. We went through last year undefeated as well and got the premiership. So we had that target. Everyone was gunning for us, like we were the team to beat, which we enjoy a challenge. But yeah, we definitely had that pressure.
Was there any point in the season that, you knew that almost every week you were playing finals, or was there a particular team that you came up against and went, okay, we're probably going to see them in the grand final, or we're going to see them somewhere in the final series?
We've gone through, with the structure of the TNL, so past few years there's been maybe a top 4 team. So going into the season, you sort of know who will be in those teams and who will be in the top 4, as most teams also retain a lot of players. So I think Crips and Cavs are definitely our main competitors, but we also had a lot of tough competition against some, like a new look Devon team with lots of young girls. So they just gave us a bit of a run, and then Kingston as well. And then we also had a new team enter the competition with the Southeast Suns. So that was a bit of an unknown as well. But yeah, like I said at the start, you sort of go in knowing who might be in the top 4, but you always have little surprises, which is nice.
So you mentioned about the new team, the Suns, which were unknown, obviously, which as another 2-3 games that you had to play on top of what you played the previous season. How difficult was that to, not knowing the unknown with the new team coming top in the competition like the Suns?
We sort of approach each game the same. We have our 2 trainings a week. We go through the same process, and we set ourselves challenges and goals. And we adjust them every quarter. So coming into an unknown game, we sort of set those standards. We knew that they were young and they had some really experienced coaches. So, yeah, you just got to set the goals and adjust them each quarter. But, yeah, always obviously trying to get the win. Grand
final day. Obviously, this team's experienced at it, so I'm not going to ask how the preparation was, but was it still nerve-wracking? Did you say about the grand final nerves?
Yeah, we've been a part of the Hawks since 2019, and every season we've played a grand final. But you get just as nervous each time you play one. It's really special too. So a lot of people come and watch, and especially your friends and your family. So having those people there, seeing them in the crowd, it's really nervous, but I think it's really good though, because it kind of shows a sign that you really care about the result. And we worked hard this season, and we had a new coach, and we kind of just wanted to reward everyone in the club. But yeah, the nerves definitely do not go away. They're still very much there.
The silly question I'm going to ask: when did you felt you were comfortable enough to enjoy the moment, knowing that you were going to be back to back?
For me, there was probably about 3 minutes left in the last quarter. I allowed myself to feel that. But yeah, you're playing Cavs. They've had a run of 9 against us before where we haven't scored a goal, so you never feel safe. But yeah, with 3 minutes left, I started to celebrate a little internally. What about you?
I'm completely opposite. I think going into the second quarter, we got a couple of turnovers, and I was up and about. I was like, oh my God, we can do this. This is going to be so great. And then I think we all kind of held that sort of feeling, and then we just really wanted to keep pushing it. So I wouldn't say I thought we had it in the bag by the second quarter, but I think that definitely was the turning point. And yeah, I was up and about from then. So yeah.
Was it a relief when the final whistle blown for the season and, you know, you got back to back? Was it a relief knowing that the struggles in regarding to we've, you know, been the hunted this year instead of being the hunted?
I don't know. I tend not to think too much about the target on our backs, but more what we have put in place throughout the season. So, like we worked really hard for the preseason. We introduced 2 new players to the team, and we lost kind of like superstar players, and Danny Pickett, who found the go long. So we did lose those those 2 at the start. But throughout, we've had a few tough things happen in the club. We've had Monique, goalkeeper, actually rupture her Achilles in the second game, which was quite devastating. So, yeah, and like other factors. So it was kind of nice just to be able to push through all of that and get the win at the end of the season, but also just reward ourselves, basically. Like, we train really hard and we do all this extra stuff outside. Yeah, it is like a little reward of all your hard work. So yeah.
We had an odd number curse that we broke. We've been in grand final. This is the 8th year we've made final, and we've only ever won on even years. So we broke the curse. So that was good.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that was actually my next question I was going to ask. I'm assuming that, well, consider what next year is an even year, you know, technically speaking, 2024.
Yeah.
Are you going to try and, you know, continue this winning a premiership in an even year? Because, you know, you broke it this year, winning on an odd year. But you know, you're going to try and, you know, continue the theme of winning almost every single premiership, every even year premiership in the TNL?
Yeah, definitely. We'll be gunning for that premiership again next year. It'll also be a 3-peat if we do that, so that would be really special. Everyone on our team.
Number, though.
Oh, yeah, true. That's an odd number. Oh, dear. Too much going on. No, yeah, everyone in our team's really motivated and love winning, and, yeah, we'll be gunning for the premiership next year.
And I know we're in a very lucky position that we make all these grand finals, but it's not always promised. And some people really sort of go through their whole sporting careers not being able to do something that we get to do. So, you know, we really got to, you know, appreciate it and keep working hard to try and keep doing it, basically.
Yeah.
I can see both you wearing your medals around your necks. There it is right there. So how long did both you wear your medals around your necks for, and did any of you sleep with it? Be honest.
I didn't sleep with it, but I know Danny slept in her dress and her medal and everything. But after a bit of a night, you tend to be a bit thankful to have a shower, especially coming straight from the game and then straight to the celebrations. But no, had it the next day, and I'm sure when we have our presentation dinners and, you know, competition dinners, they'll be around the necks. But yeah. Who got to hold the cup first?
Yes, I was fortunate enough. I'm a co-captain, Ashley Moore, so we got presented the cup. So yeah, we both got presented the cup at the same time, and then all the girls got around us. But yeah, lucky enough to get the first touch.
So what did that mean to you, to hold the cup first with your co-captain before the rest of the team swarmed onto you?
Yeah, really special. It's an honour to co-captain such an amazing group. They're all leaders and they're all amazing people. So, yeah, very honoured. And to do it with Ash, she's such a huge support, and she's the best player in the TNL. So I'm very lucky to be there with her. But, yes, very proud and honoured.
After, you know, you got presented with the cup with Ash, and obviously the teams, you know, came running to swarm on to both of you to get the photo. Was there any point you went, hopefully we don't drop this cup or get crushed?
Um, very heavy as well. I think whenever someone lifts above the head, it's a little worrying. Or like
it's a big
trophy. It's big and it's heavy, and some of the supporters like to come and take photos as well. So it's always sort of funny when you hand them the cup and they're kind of like, oh, like it's a lot heavier than you think. But we've actually had one. I don't know if I should say this, but we had one incident. I think it was in 2020. We had the cup, and it actually kind of, we'll just say someone like got knocked on their head with it and ended up with this big gash, who was like our captain, Danny Pickett, at the time. So yeah, it's a bit of a hazard. Yeah, it's a hazard, but many fond memories.
Yeah. OH&S issue there.
But no, she was sporting a pretty impressive gash at the Silly Sunday the next day, so that was good.
Oh, classic. So for both of you, did any of you get the kiss the cup?
We've set a little tradition where Tessa and I take like a little sister photo, and it's of us kissing the cup. So we've got a couple of those pics already.
Yeah,
but
it's actually pretty gross. Seeing how many people actually do kiss it. You got people from like the spectators and family members all kissing it. It was like, oh, this is probably not very sanitary, but
no, but it's definitely a bit of I think 2020, which was like COVID as well. So
yeah,
we probably weren't great advocates for
I'm glad you mentioned that. So about 2020, I have to ask both of you, how did both of you get involved in netball, and why did you choose it?
I think we've both, because we're from Scottsdale, which is a bit of a rural town in Tasmania's northeast. Our dad was a bit of a basketball coach, so we definitely started at basketball. But unfortunately, maybe once you finished primary school, there wasn't much of a pathway in the local community. And then we sort of just started netball in under 12s for our little club, Scottsdale Netball Club. And we just played against the other little local towns. And then it wasn't till maybe high school we started sort of being implemented into the state league programs. And yeah, like ever since we started in under 12s, like all our friends played, and we come from a family of 4 children, so it was always quite competitive, and we loved to be competitive. So I think netball was a great thing for us with having 2 older brothers. So I think we just really enjoyed from a young age that sort of friendship and that sort of competition as well. And yeah, we love it. Everyone's involved, and it's a really good part of us, and we definitely can't imagine what would.
I have to ask this as a follow-up then. You mentioned that you have siblings who obviously shouldn't play the sports, different types of sports. So I have to ask, out of yourselves and obviously your siblings, who's won the most premierships?
Definitely.
Yeah, us. And
I was hoping you were going to say that.
Yeah. No, like our brothers were a bit of into basketball in their youth and
footy
but they have sort of kind of settled in their lives, whereas we're like netball. Even the competition nowadays, I think would have them on anything.
Definitely.
Both of you mentioned right at the start what position you play on the court. If you had a dream position, we love to convince your coaches to put you, where would that be? Be honest.
Goal defence. I love goal defence. I'm in my favourite position, but Lydia's got quite a different story to me.
I have multiple positions, just depends on my mood. If I practice shooting at training and get in, I want goal attack. If I feel like being fast, I want wing attack. And then if one of the defenders go down, I'm ready to jump in goal defence. So any of those I'll be really happy with, but I've been advocating attack for a while.
I'm going to combine these 2 questions together, which is very similar anyway. What does the sport of netball mean to both of you, and especially playing for the Hawks? The second part of that question is, what have both of you learnt from each other being sisters on and off the court?
Hawks means a lot to us. They gave us a second chance and we've really thrived there. We've made some of the best friends ever there that we're going to keep for life. We've involved ourselves in other aspects of than just playing netball. For example, Lids does the social media for the club. When she does an amazing job of that. They mean everything to us. It's our second family, basically. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. We get excited to go see everyone, and like we have people in the club that will do anything for you and vice versa. So, it's a real amount of respect and a great culture. And then to the question about what we've taught each other.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know, maybe patience.
Some of the car rides down to Hobart, the 3.5, 4-hour drives, depending on the roadworks. So, and we're crammed in the car. But I think Liz has taught me she has very much a never give up attitude. She's never beaten. So I think she's instilled that in me, definitely.
I think
to say nice things about.
About to say Tess is really nice, but no, we're a bit like yin and yang. Tess is this like sweet, kind person, and I'm kind of like straight to the point. I don't know, so I definitely need to take some of Tess's kindness. Well, not anymore. But yeah, but we each other so often. So I think just in the regards of netball, we just have a lot of admiration for each other and support. And if one of us feels like we haven't done a good job, it's nice to kind of always have that person to sort of back you up and make you feel good and, encourage you. But yeah.
I know both of you would have played with each other on the same team for a long time. Have either of you ever played against each other?
At training a lot, but I don't think we've actually played against each other.
That would be a really bad idea going off what happens to us at training. It would not be pretty. We tend to yell at each other at, like, if we have mini games at training and we're on opposite. I don't know, it's not good.
This year, Tessa, I'm blaming you, but full on ran into the back of me and we both just went flying. And everyone else thought it was so funny, but that started an argument at training. We were pretty mad at each other for that. But yeah, I tend to get the elbows out a little bit when I'm on tests. So yeah, it's good practice, I guess.
Sorry. So I've got to ask, what would be your advice to people down in Tassie that should get involved in netball and especially support the Hawks in the defence of hopefully make it in a three-peat?
I think our message is that, we're onto something pretty special, especially for netball in the north. So we were lucky enough for northern Tasmania to have 2 of the teams in the grand final to be teams. But yeah, I'd say just jump on board something special. It's always nice to support a winning team. So I think definitely that. What would you say?
Yeah, something pretty similar. I don't know, similar. Get on the Hawks train.
Yeah. I think that would be like if you had to team, you might as well be happy after each week.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Any advice to kids out there that should get involved in netball in Tassie?
Yeah, I think netball, I think kids should play any sport, but netball in particular, it's just a really great way to make friends. Like I said previously, I've made the best friends of my life through netball, and it's just, it's more than just sport. It's a community, and it's a lot of like-minded people playing a game of netball, basically. I'd say jump on it. It's great.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Not only friendships, but you sort of develop as a character yourself. And I think netball is really good for that. And it's a fun sport and it's really friendly and there's space for it in Tasmania and it's sort of like a growing thing. Like, you know, Netball Tas are putting in so much effort to sort of build it up and yeah, some really exciting things coming. So netball is the way to go for Tassie.
Finish with some lighthearted questions, which is who was the comedian, the best singer, and internet TikTok/Be Real?
Yeah. TikToker would be Ellie Marshall.
Yeah, or Danny.
Yeah, or Danny. They're pretty good on TikTok. Comedian.
I'm gonna say Jen.
Yeah.
She has me in tears most trainings from laughter.
Quite witty as well.
Just so quick on the comebacks and just hilarious.
And best singer would be Lynette Childs with her Kill Bill by SSS.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty good at it.
Do either of you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
I didn't think I had one, but under-19s coach Cameron Martin was telling his players that my superstition is to talk a lot to people to distract myself.
That's true.
So apparently I talk lots and I have to go talk to everyone is my superstition, but otherwise I don't think I have one.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have one. I have my routine that I do, but it's more to now I'm at the ripe old age of 28. It's more of like it's more of a way like nutrition and things. It's just a routine to make sure that I can
banana.
Yeah, I always eat it. Oh, that's true. I always have a banana before trainings or a game. So maybe that's my thing.
Finish with these last two. Who had the most embarrassing moment on the court this season and what was it? I'm assuming there wouldn't be many.
Hold on, I need to think about it.
I've got a couple of
Two?
myself. I was trying to get the ball back and I just kept falling.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
I feel like there was something that was quite.
Gemma Poke does a few, but you sort of just forget about them because it's pretty standard.
Oh yeah, we make it. Gemma rolled her ankle and was basically making out the floor, but
That's a funny one.
Yeah, Lydia went to chase the ball and slipped over. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I was trying to rush to get the ball back and I sort of slipped as I turned. But you know how sometimes you run and your body's forward but your legs are trying to keep up?
Yes.
That was for probably about 10 metres in front of everyone, which was really embarrassing because it was odd.
There was a few good Falcons. I can't remember who it was, but someone caught one on the forehead, so it was the perfect rebound and it nearly went back over a third. It was huge. It was
Two-part question. The first one is, obviously you have your team photo, obviously the official team photo, etc. Have you looked at your team photo and see if there's any funny faces, in those photos?
Well, actually, we have a club photographer, Jess, who's amazing, and we look through her photos. But I think someone else took a photo and the local paper, the Examiner, published it. And I looked and I had my eyes closed and no one else did. I was like, surely they could have used a different photo. So mine wasn't very good, but I don't know. Did you have any?
There was one where I was looking at the cup and everyone else was like, yeah, and I was just looking at the cup, but that wasn't too bad. That sort of just looked like I was admiring the cup.
Yeah. Finish with this last one, considering the team has won multiple premierships. Any really, really, how do I explain it? Two-part question. This is definitely a two-part question. The first one is any crazy ones over the last couple of years that someone's done something crazy in the team photo. And the second part of that question, do you almost prepare for something like this, after you win the premiership, knowing, you're trying to outmatch what you did the previous premierships?
I don't know if the official photos are really to screw with, but it's more like the behind the scenes.
Oh, Gemma and Luke
stuff. Oh yeah, that's so fun.
Yeah, there's photos of celebration photos, straight after the game. There's some funny ones of those. We're pretty professional with the official cup photos.
But yeah, like I said, it's more like the after celebration photos that are pretty funny. It's actually kind of just a bit on the fly. So normally we have like the short people down the front and then tolls out the back, but it was kind of a bit of a mix. And we always kind of like to have the captains holding the cup in the middle.
It was a bit funny. People weren't sure whether to do the 2 or the 1 for the win. So like the photo, there's some people with 2 and there's some people with. So that looks a bit funny. Yeah. That wasn't coordinated. Yeah,
it's definitely on the fly. It's definitely someone makes a suggestion and it either gets shut down or taken on. So yeah, it's very much go with the flow.
Okay, I might have to look at that team photo again. See how many did the 2s and the 1s by the sounds of that. But both of you, it is awesome having both of you on the show. From all of us here at Smash FM, congratulations on winning back-to-back premiership. Well deserved. I've actually watched your grand final on replay twice now. So well done. And hopefully next year, I might make the trip down to Tassie myself to hopefully watch the Mighty Hawks in action.
Sounds great.
Thanks so much for interviewing us. It was great.
Yeah.
No worries. And of course, if you want to support the Mighty Hawks, there, of course, in 2024 net season, we'll put all the details up on how you can follow the club throughout net season in the TNL. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.